factor a sum of cubes. Now, first, it's important that we understand what perfect cubes are. So if we think about 2 cubed, well, that means 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So 8 is a perfect cube because the cubed root of 8 is 2. So similarly, we know that 3 cubed is 27. Therefore, the cubed root of 27 is 3. So perfect cubes are any numbers that can be found by multiplying something together 3 times. So 4 times 4 times 4 gives us 64. 64 is a perfect cube. 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. Perfect cube. So that's how we can find our perfect cubes. Now, let's go ahead and factor those perfect cubes. There is a general way that we talk about factoring a perfect cube, and that is if we have a perfect cube plus a perfect cube, hence the sum of cubes, we can do that by saying, well, the cubed root of a cubed and the cubed root of b cubed, we would take a plus b. So we're just adding together the cubed root of each of those. Now, the formula says, well, if I have a cubed and I took out an a, that leaves me with a squared. Now, then I take a times b, which is ab, and because this is positive, I do the opposite. And then b cubed, take out a b, I'm left with a positive b squared. So if you wonder and you're like, what? So if we think about this binomial times a trinomial, you can double check that this works. Because if you think about distributing this a, we would have a times a squared is a cubed. A times negative ab gives me negative a squared b. And then we get a times b squared, which is a positive ab squared. Then we distribute the b. So b times ab is a positive a squared b. B times negative AB gives me a minus AB squared. And then B times B squared is B cubed. Now this works because I have a negative A squared B plus A squared B. Positive AB squared minus AB squared. And I'm just left with A cubed plus B cubed. So that is why this formula works. Now let's go ahead and factor some of these. It does help to know what the perfect cube is. So the perfect cube of x cubed is x. The perfect cube of 64 is 4. So if I'm factoring a sum of cubes, I start by taking the sum of the cubed root of each of those. Then in my next piece, I had x cubed, take out an x, I have left x squared. X times 4 is 4x. Subtract that. And then 64 divided by 4 is 16. So my final answer is x plus 4 times the quantity x squared minus 4x plus 16. Let's factor 8x cubed plus 125. Again, let's talk about the cube root. So 8x cubed, well, the cube root of 8 is 2. The cube root of x cubed is x. And the cube root of 125 is 5. So my first piece, 2x plus 5. Then I do my second piece. 8 divided by 2 is 4. I had x cubed, got rid of an x, so I have 4x squared. Then I take 2x times 5, so minus 10x. And then last, 125 divided by 5 gives me a positive 25. So my factored form is 2x plus 5 times the quantity, 4x squared minus 10x plus 25. One more. X cubed plus 8y cubed. Well, I just have x, right? These are my cubed roots, and then 2y. So my first piece, x plus 2y. Then in my second piece, x cubed, got rid of an x, I have x squared left. X times 2y is minus 2xy. And then 8 divided by 2 is 4. Got rid of one of my y's, so y squared. And that is factoring the sum of cubes.